It's the Geek Beat with Ryan Ozawa, Bert Lemon, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go, and you play?
Yes.
What level are you?
6.
I'm 6.
You're 6. Two sixes here in Pokemon. Is this an age group thing? Is it those who grow up with Pokemon that are playing this
I think
game?
that's a big part of it, the nostalgia of the 90s. If you're in your 20s or 30s, you remember the cards, the Game Boy games like Josh. But
Right.
I think that it's also certainly very cute and popular to the next generation. They're adorable creatures.
Yeah, sure they are. But it's a battle, though. It's adorable, but you're also it's a battle that you have in this game.
Right. Like any game, there's a competitive component to it, and I think that certainly the nostalgia is a big part of it. But what people talk about for this game is that it gets people to leave the house.
Right.
And what I think is important, if you want some cred, is that Pokemon Go didn't just come out of nowhere. It was actually based on a framework of a game called Ingress, which I've talked about before.
All right.
So the point of that game was also to get you out and playing. But if you've been wondering, how did Pokemon Go know about that mural on the wall in
How
Zippy's?
did they know that?
Or that rock in the parking lot of City Mill? It's because people who played Ingress were actually going out and finding these notable locations.
Right, so they've used that in this new game.
Right, absolutely. Some of my pictures are used in Pokemon Go, which I
Right.
think is pretty cool.
Amazing. Now, what about playing? There are a lot of talks, conversations about safety, about what's the right way to play, the safe way to play.
Well, like anything else, when you're in the game, you can tend to be kind of immersed in the game. But you still have to have a sense of what are you doing around, the area. So if you were to walk into like a police station and still try to play the game, the police are not going to be happy about that.
Right.
You can, if you go into private spaces, that's not a good thing. The other thing is there's people that are driving and trying to play Pokemon. That is crazy.
Well,
So
Billy was talking about his son in the car. Says, "Wait, stop!" And you don't know what that means, and your reaction is to stop, and that could create some huge problems. The Holocaust Museum has said, no, this is not cool. Josh was saying that he was driving by the National Cemetery of the Pacific, and it seems to be a Pokemon hotspot.
Some cemeteries, some places where it's probably not appropriate to be playing a game. And again, this is something that Ingress players ran into. So you have to use a little bit of judgment. I do like that the first thing the game says when you start it is to be aware of your surroundings.
Right.
You might be walking around wearing your headphones. You should probably know what's going on around you. It's safer to play in groups, for example, and that's certainly what you're seeing. I think it's great that we're seeing kids coagulating in parks late at night, even though, unfortunately, parks do close.
Well, I took the story of my son who pulled the bike off the wall after 5 years and fixed it so he could go right around and play the game. It is augmented reality, which is this the new thing? Where's this going, by the way?
Well, they're saying that it's the first big augmented reality game to integrate the real world with the virtual world. But what comes next? Obviously, people who love Pokemon from before want to get to trading, where if Bert has the Pokemon that I want and I have one that he wants, we should be able to trade it. So that's coming. Right. Also, they're going to be doing leaderboards so you can be the #1 player in your neighborhood or of your faction. There are 3 factions. Keep track of
where you stand in the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, my guess is that augmented reality is already in Snapchat, and I think Snapchat is watching this. So I bet you that since you're doing video on Snapchat, what if they were to put something like 3D as a sticker inside your video that you could actually play around with and interact with? So I think there are other people looking at this technology and looking at perhaps incorporating it.
What team are you on?
I'm on the Mystics. That's why I'm wearing blue.
My son's a Mystic. I think.
Mystic.
Mystics. Okay. Guys are on the radio here at 5 o'clock tonight on 89.3 Hawaii Public Radio. Topic, real quick.
We're going to be talking to the CIOs of the state of Hawaii and the University of Washington and find out about IT transformation.
Okay, excellent. That's at 89.3, 5 o'clock. It is Bite Marks Cafe. The Geeks, here they are, Ryan and Bert on Sunrise. We'll take a break and be back with more in just a moment.